It's the inmates you see around the community, trustees. I'm Victoria Bailey, and we take a look at the work release program and the impacts it has on a community coming up.
WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Gunfire at a Hamilton apartment complex injures one and sends another to the hospital. The shooting happened on Bel Air Drive, just off Old Highway 45, about 12:45 this afternoon. Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says the victim told deputies that 38-year-old Michael Mitchell kicked in his door and shot him. The victim walked to a nearby business for help. Mitchell was taken into custody a short time after the shooting. Cantrell says Mitchell is being charged with aggravated assault. He remains in jail. His bond has not been set. A Brandon man is in an Oxford jail tonight charged with kidnapping and rape. 20-year-old Dustin McGee is arrested yesterday. Investigators say the victim filed a report identifying McGee as the attacker. His bond is set at $20,000. 3 Monroe County men are facing child pornography charges. 19-year-olds Drew Cox and Omar Freeman, along with 20-year-old Gavin Rosebud, all have 1 count of child pornography pending. Cox and Rosebud were arrested Wednesday. Freeman, a Smithville High senior, was arrested this morning. Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says the men took advantage of a minor this past weekend at an after-prom party. Now, more charges may be filed against those men. Sheriff Cantrell says when it comes to a case involving minors, the investigators look at all possibilities. Deputies also tell WCBI more arrests could be made. Our Jory Talley joins us live in the studio with more. Jory.
The investigation has been underway since Monday. Sheriff Cantrell says the case opened up when the victim's parents came by and reported the crime.
Our understanding, of course, we're early in this investigation, but we understand that there was a minor child that was taken advantage of. Looks like at this point it's some child exploitation, which is child pornography, involved and with some sexual acts.
Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says it happened this past Saturday after the Smithville High School prom. The men are accused of videoing a sexual act and sharing that video.
When you start doing this thing and video different sexual activities and then distribute that around, it becomes a very serious situation. There's a lot of people in trouble over this.
He says this happened at a prom after party that took place out here at what's known to locals as the helicopter pad.
At this time, I think quite a bit of alcohol may have been involved. That's why I would tell to all the parents, make sure you know what your children are doing, because they can be put in a situation or get themselves in a situation because of maybe drinking too much.
The sheriff says the video was shared with several people, including students. He also adds, if you have video of this on your phone, to delete it, because you can get in trouble too.
We're talking mostly juveniles that are in possession. It's on their phone, so they're in possession of child pornography, which that would go through youth court.
The sheriff says they are pursuing all leads. No Monroe County school is involved in this investigation.
Jory Talley live in our studio with that story tonight. Time to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He joins us with a first look at our forecast. Keith.
Joey, right now a great evening developing. We are warm, we are breezy, but look at that, 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies across our region at this time. Tupelo, you are also at 80, 79 in Starkville and West Point, 81 down towards Louisville. This evening, some 70s and some 60s, mainly clear all evening long. The wind's going to taper off a little bit, so get out there and make the most of it. Warm and windy again on Friday, low 80s, wind gusts maybe over 25, and we still have the possibility for storms tomorrow night into the weekend. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
A lockdown today at a Wcbi County Community Work Center while law enforcement search for an escaped inmate. 37-year-old Kevin Rush did not return from a work detail yesterday. About the same time, a gray Chrysler 300 was stolen from Earl Nash Elementary School. Sheriff Terry Grassery says deputies need the community's help to find Rush.
We are just trying to make sure we cover our bases. So to the public, if you see that Chrysler 300 with a Winston County tag, call the Knox County Sheriff's Department. You can call the Macon Police Department or any branch of the MDOC.
Rush is originally from Lowndes County. We've all seen the trustees working in our communities. Work release programs are designed to benefit inmates and help reduce costs for counties. Our Victoria Bailey takes a look at the challenges and benefits.
That's right, Joey. In the prison system, work release programs allow an inmate to leave their cell to work on roadways, cemeteries, and even garbage routes. Now, police say the work helps, but you must always watch the inmates. Work release programs are nothing new. Inmates preparing to leave jail leave the hard walls of confinement for a few hours a day to do various jobs throughout the community.
They keep us from hiring multiple peoples, and they're a valuable resource for the community, save the city a bunch of money. So we basically help them with free labor, and it's also helped them with their time. Usually trustees can be seen cutting grass, gardening, picking up trash, and that's just to name a few things.
The program, the CWC, has been here for the last 16, 18 years. It's good. It's helped the city a lot, helped the county out a lot. Macon Street Commissioner Willie Dixon says though the program can be a blessing, it can also be a curse. Some of them is good, you know, but once you try to put a little trust in one, you know, just a little bit, they take advantage of it. And this guy that walked away yesterday afternoon, you know, you never thought he would do this. Seemed like a real nice guy, but I mean, he's an inmate. Macon Police Chief Devon Beck says through most programs, inmates receive time off their sentence for assisting the area. We got to think about that. They're not the non-violent offenders. So, yeah, I can stick with a guy that got caught for writing a bad check. Sold drug to the community versus having a rapist or murder in your community or a pedophile in your community doing work that they do. He wasn't locked up for nothing. Dixon says it could be time for a change. I'm thinking I'm going to my board and suggest some stuff to them. Maybe if we can hire people for 6 months and we work the rest of the year, you know, we don't need the inmates. I don't think it's even worth it now. It's not worth the headache and the hassle that we have. If we can get rid of it, we can. And I'm hoping my board would take my suggestion on these things, and I really think they would.
Now, I was on the Mississippi Department of Corrections Facebook page and saw this is the 5th trustee to escape custody in the last month. Joey?
All right, thanks, Victoria. There's a graduation today, but without caps and gowns. 21 men completed a program called Thinking for a Change in a partnership with the Mississippi Department of Corrections and Mississippi State University. The 90-day rehabilitation program is for technical violators, such as those on house arrest or on parole. District Attorney Scott Colon says it provides a second chance for people who've made mistakes.
Very important that we have programs that look at rehabilitation for the people that are in our system, because most people are going to get out of prison, and we need to make sure that we do our best to put them in a position where they can be successful. Make sure that they're taxpayers versus tax burdens.
This was the 3rd Think for a Change program graduating class. A family favorite rolls into Amory this weekend. We check in live at the kickoff when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Springtime brings festival season to the area, and one of the biggest and longest running hits the tracks this weekend. The 40th annual Amory Railroad Festival is underway. Our Allie Martin is there to get a start on all the fun and, of course, the apple fritters. They're so good.
Thank you. It is a beautiful day here in Amory. We are here at the Railroad Festival. This is the 40th annual Railroad Festival here in Amory. With me is Pastor Corey Hill. Pastor Corey Hill, this is a big event for Amory, isn't it?
Yes, it's a very wonderful event, and the food booths that you see here are churches of the area. Church families come together, a wonderful time for the families. They bring their children, their safety, and a very wonderful occasion.
Now tonight there'll be music. There's going to be music at the stage just to our left. To our right, there's a bunch of rides, all kinds of arts and crafts and vendors, something for the whole family. And food is a big draw here. One of the biggest attractions right here, look, these apple fritters. Now, Bethel Apostolic Church, y'all have been doing this for 40 years, ever since it started. How did it all start?
Well, my wife actually came up with the idea of apple fritters, and she developed the recipe. Being a Mississippi country girl, she wanted her own recipe, and that is her recipe. And
this is incredible.
She began that 38 years ago, and cooking in a little single gas cooker to this. It has grown immensely and is really the centerpiece of the Amory Railroad Festival.
You know, when you talk about the Railroad Festival, people always say apple fritters. This is the only place you can get these, only once a year.
True.
That's right. And this goes, besides it being just great food, I think they're going to have this in heaven one day. This supports missions work, right? Tell us about that. These apple fritters.
Yes, it does. It helps support a children's home in Nepal. It helps support, it actually built a church in Okata, Nicaragua, and other missions work. That's just typical, but it all goes for good causes and missions and various avenues to reach people and help families throughout the world, literally.
Do you get to sample any of these?
Occasionally I have to do it.
Very good. All right, well, we had a big workout this morning with your nephew, so I'm eating an apple fritter because of that. Folks, come out tonight, come out Friday. The kids get off of school for this. Saturday and Sunday, Amory Railroad Festival. We're going to send it back to you in the studio. This is good.
Great weather this evening for the festival. Same story tomorrow, too. Stronger storms. I can't get over Allie eating that fritter there. It looks good. Storms possible there Friday to our west, but Friday night and Saturday, those storms will be around here, so be advised. We'll have the full forecast.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Great to see you a live view here in downtown Louisville, Mississippi with our new Alpha Insurance camera there. Wow, what a great day we've had. Mostly sunny skies and warm temperatures into the low 80s. Breezy conditions, yes, but it has been warm. That's a live view from Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon, Alabama. The tree moving back and forth with some of the breezes there. Currently sustained at 16 in Tupelo with a temperature of 80. We've had gusts up to about 25 miles per hour around the region today, so pretty warm here in Mississippi and Alabama. As we talk about the wind speed, sustained wind 10 to 15, up to about 20 to 25 as far as the gusts are concerned, but the wind is going to relax just a little bit here this evening and tonight, down into the mid-50s. Friday, lots of sunshine, some friendly clouds, mid-70s by noon, low 80s in the afternoon. And going into tomorrow evening, too, we should be okay. Probably all of our Friday, no major issues. Now, as we get into tomorrow night, probably after 2 o'clock in the morning or so, we will be watching to the west. Will be wave number 1, perhaps. Some storms coming on in prior to sunrise, and we may get some redevelopment. That would be wave number 2 in the afternoon and evening, but that is contingent upon what happens during the morning. All modes of severe weather are possible here, both during the morning and the afternoon. Just stay weather aware for Saturday. That big system is really getting its act together out towards Rapid City, South Dakota. A blizzard will be ongoing across the northern plains. For us, we will have the storms. But here's our Futurecast monitor. You can see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy type day tomorrow. Clouds will gradually increase during the evening. There's a line of storms 5 a.m. Saturday. We'll have a line of storms cross the area, probably weaken as it crosses our area, but there will be some damaging wind and isolated tornado potential depending on how strong that is as it comes on in. And then we envision this to probably stall out or weaken across our eastern counties. And there's a chance as we get into the afternoon, as the air gets a little bit more unstable here, especially southeast of the Trace, there could be some redevelopment across parts of eastern Mississippi and western Alabama. So we'll just see how this all comes together. We may see 1 to 4 inches of rain or more with this setup. So we will fine-tune the timing and the particulars as we get into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. So right now that's a general overview of what's going on, but there could be a couple of rounds of storms Saturday. Heavy rain and hail, wind, and even a few isolated tornadoes are possible. But after that, we're really looking pretty good Sunday and Monday, much cooler. There could be another frost Sunday night, back into the mid to upper 70s by the middle of next week.
The Wings Over Columbus Air and Space Show is just over a week away with plenty to see in the air and, of course, on the ground. Several acts are set to take off on Saturday and Sunday, including an F-86 and MiG-17 dogfight. That should be cool. The MSU Space Cowboys rocket team and several other exhibits will be on hand. And the famous Budweiser Clydesdales are expected to be there. All of the fun kicks off next Saturday at 9 a.m. Coming up, a big night for a certain Mississippi State basketball star, that is. More with Victoria Vivians next in New York City.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
2018 WNBA draft underway right now in New York City. Victoria Vivians in attendance. She's expected to hear her name called in the first round. Tori currently projected to be picked 7th by the Washington Mystics, and Morgan Williams could hear her name tonight as well, but the wait begins for both. The draft is underway. It's on ESPN2 right now. Asia Wilson, to no surprise, was the #1 pick by the Las Vegas Aces. Kelsey Mitchell went #2. She's from Ohio State. She went to the Indiana Fever. And Diamond DeShields, former Tennessee Volunteer, just got picked 3rd. So now it's getting a little closer towards possibly seeing Victoria Vivians hear her name called. We'll have more on Tori and potentially Morgan Williams be selected coming up tonight at 10. To the signing day circuit from today at TCPS, Cade Hall signed the dotted line to continue his baseball career at Christian Brothers University in Memphis next season. Through 18 games this year, Hall has a .294 batting average, 15 hits, 14 RBIs, and 17 runs. He was a part of the team's first state baseball title in 2016, where he had that game-winning hit against Ethel. It's an exciting day for Cade because he becomes the first Hall family member to play baseball at the next level.
It's a dream, but now that it's happening, it's like I never thought it would happen though. Small school, as I go to TCPS, I like small places. I don't like to be just another number in a crowd. And then he's just like Coach Lowry, strong on his principles and everything, so I like that part of it.
This is, what every kid dreams of. They put all the work in, and, we prepared these guys. He's been a starter for us for 4 years, and it's just great to see his hard work pay off.
The signing circuit continuing in Amory. Earlier this morning, Kaylee Wren signed to continue her basketball career at Mississippi College. This past season, Wren finished with 10.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game. She had other JUCO offers from ICC and Northeast, but when she made that trip to Clinton to tour the campus at Mississippi College, she knew that was where she wanted to be.
I've definitely been excited to play Day2 basketball. I feel like it'll motivate me and push me a little bit more to get better, work on my outside shot, and kind of get a little stronger inside in the post.
I'm excited. She's going to get to play there and continue to do something that she loves. So it'd be a great experience for her. She understands the game. She knows where to be and when to be there. She's just a great all-around kid, offensively and defensively. I think, obviously with it being the next level, there's some things she'll have to improve on. But I think she's a hard worker and she's willing to do those things.
A beautiful day in Amory for an 18-hole invitational at a Kia golf course. 70-plus golfers from all over our area, including New Hope, North Pontotoc, Caledonia, and of course Amory were competing. Now Kia Golf Club will host the 4A Region 2 Boys Division Championship and the Class 2 Region 3 Girls Division title coming up April 23rd and 24th. We'll have results from the invitational coming up tonight at 10. And lastly, the high school football in Alabama. This one's a bit puzzling. The HSAA announced today they will begin the experimental phase of adding instant replay to football. It's a one-year guarantee experiment with up to renewing for 3 years. Now, each team will get 2 reviews during a game. The AHSA says it could add 10 to 20 minutes to a football game. I, for one, am completely against the idea of using instant replay in high school football. I mean, for all of you officials out there, you already have a tough job as it is. You don't need more replay and more pressure on you to begin with. So we'll see how it plays out in Alabama, but I'm not a fan. That's it for sports. We will get a last look at your forecast when we return.
Warm and windy on Friday. We are back into the low 80s. Some storms possible Saturday. We may see a wave in the morning, some redevelopment possible in the afternoon. So a couple of opportunities. If nothing else, you'll get some very heavy rain most likely here Saturday. We'll clear it out, cooler Sunday, and pretty nice next week too.
That forecast's a very fluid situation, so I know you'll be keeping an eye on it.
We're crunching the numbers, and we'll try and update things.
Yeah, Alex in the morning too. All right, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.